Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. Always a pleasure. He's got a little grin on his face. Mr. Dave Coldwell, how are you, mate?
I'm very good, mate. I'm very good, thanks. I figured the only reason why it's a pleasure, why you want to talk to me all the time, is I'm probably the only geezer out there that's fucking shorter than you.
And it's quite hard, so it is nice to interview. So look at how low we've got there. I never have it this low. I never have it this low.
I give you a bit of height credit. Don't fucking milk it.
Oh no, that's the same height for me as well. How are you, mate?
I'm good. Yeah, really good, thanks.
Hopey this weekend, he returns. Had a real good learning fight back in Newcastle. Not a quick turnaround, but the sort of turnaround a fighter of his level would probably like. Really excited for Saturday night?
I'm really excited. Listen, it's no secret how highly I rate Hopey as a prospect, as a young fighter coming through. I think he's, out of them all, look at the stables, this kid's the most talented. He's exceptional. He's somebody that I can ask to do this, to do that, different styles, different looks, patterns. He can just absorb it all, and he's got a mentality to go with it. He's unbelievably strong character, and this is the perfect sort of fight. You know, I've said boxing's not about. It's not just about a kid's got some potential, so let's rush him to get to the top as quick as he can. It's about developing that potential, and I'm being, you know, I've speaking with Matchroom and Eddie and Frank. They know that I want this year as. The next stage of his development is fighting guys that have fought for these titles, maybe have been champions, lost just a little bit over, them sort of fights where there's jeopardy in it and where he can take something from the experience that they've got. And James Beach Jr., he's just boxed for the British and Commonwealth titles at featherweight. It's Hopey's first fight at featherweight. It's not like we're stepping up and just taking an 8-rounder or a little 10-rounder against, you know, somebody that's not going to, you know, give anything for us, straight in there. So it's good for him to see the levels that he's at right now.
Well, he is always sort of able to get out on these cards, and it is nice watching his development. I've got to ask you, the first female that you've had in your gym, Ebanie Bridges, joins the stable. Just first things first, how did it come around? I imagine sort of you just bonded and it just worked really well.
I've never spoken to her before. Just, hi, how you doing? As she's walking past. That's the max that I ever spoke to her before. So I didn't know her, and you have a little perception of what somebody's going to be like. So I was really surprised when I got asked, because I thought, well, are you sure? Because I never really spoke. And then when we met and you know, she came for a session, she's completely different from what I thought. I mean, she's got fantastic work ethic, but she's very, very smart. She gets what, you know, she gets how I teach, she gets how I work, and she's gelled in the gym. She's gelled with that. She's, you know, first thing that Stephen Cairn said after she'd been in the gym with him for the first time, when she walked out the door, he was like, she's like a dude. She's like one of us. She's one of the lads, isn't she? And I think you don't have that perception. You think that it's going to be a little bit different. So she's blended into the gym fine, and the work's been great. She had a fantastic session this morning. So we'll see. Listen, first and foremost, I've got to say, Tibbsy's done an incredible job with her, and it's just because she wants to move up north. And sometimes in life, outside boxing has to dictate how you adjust with your boxing. Sometimes it's not always a case of, oh well, you should do this, should do that because you want to box. Listen, she's a world champion, but she's got a life outside boxing, and she wants to live up north. She feels comfortable up north. It's a little bit difficult to commute to go and train down in London every day if you're living up north. So that's the only reason. You know, there's a great relationship that's still there. I've got a lot of time and respect for Mark, and like I said, I just hope, you know, I can build on what he's done.
Is it now just developing what's already there?
Obviously, yeah. I mean, it's not my first rodeo. I've trained fighters that are. I mean, she's 37. You know, I've trained fighters who are a little bit older before, and just you're not trying to reinvent the wheel. my job, whether they're young or they're old, is just to try and get the best out of them I can do. You know, that's it. Just get the best out of them.
You think it'll be August 12th? I mean, that's what's been floating about a little bit. Would you hope it was August 12th?
I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. Listen, always a new trainer's always going to say to you that give me time with them, and then we can, you know, you get a better result. So I'm not really asked, to be honest. Whatever day it is, I'll be happy with.
I listened in a little bit there, and it was quite good actually regarding the heavyweights. You know me, I've always got an ear somewhere. But it's quite interesting because
was you interviewing somebody while you was listening?
Once the interview was done, Dave. Come on, I'm professional. Come on, mate. But it was interesting what you said, because I just interviewed Steffi before, and he said he was getting a little bit tired of the heavyweights. You sort of reiterate the same thing?
I'm disappointed in it. We got an era where there's some cracking fights to be made in the division, and one reason they're not. But because of we're hearing, oh, this fight is happening, and then it's not. This fight is happening, and then it's not. Because we're in that, fans and people that aren't involved, people involved in sport get pissed off it, but fans that are also taking the headspace with football, with cricket, with whatever, other sports, they're looking at boxing and saying, what the fuck's going on? And they're judging our sport by the heavyweight division. So they're saying, it's shit, it's dying, it's a joke. No, it's not. Look through the divisions. We've got some great fights going on that's been happening recently, that's lined up. There's plenty of fighters that are taking these fights. There's plenty of fighters that you know, are exciting crowds and exciting us as fans. So the sport's bigger than just the heavyweight division. It just so happens that when the heavyweight division is on fire, it grabs the attention and it's fantastic for the sport. But also when it's misfiring and it's shit, like it is right now, because nobody's fighting, people judge our sport on that division, and it's not.
Do you feel like there's almost so much talk about the negotiations to the point where it's on TalkSport and it's on, like, do you know what I mean? It's not. We're not seeing the fight just announced. We're seeing like the weeks of build up going into a fight.
So you get bored. It's like a football fan that's hearing that you're interested in this player, and he's still interested in this player. Nothing's happening, and then they miss out on it. They're like, what the fuck? Well, just don't talk about it. The problem is in social media now, everybody wants access, so it's difficult because people like you ask questions. So if they don't answer, I'm talking about Eddie, Frank, Sowlands, or whoever the promoters are. If they don't answer the questions, then people give them an hard time. So they try and be open and transparent, but unfortunately, the levels of negotiations and things, they don't just happen like that at that level. It's not a case of, I want to fight you, you want to fight me, right, it's done, there you go, it's done. And there's so much bollocks to go into it, and then when you get a draft contract, then there's all ins and outs, and there's like changing rooms, and how many people have got access to this hotel room, how many rooms have we got, there's all this bollocks that goes into it that you don't hear about. And egos, and listen, if fighters want to fight, they can just turn around to the promoters and say, listen, I don't give a shit about all that, make the fight happen. But then if the fighters don't want to fight, it's not going to happen.
Sorry, there's so much going on here, it's hard to sort of keep track. Joshua Caballel. No, I can't eavesdrop. There's nothing to eavesdrop. There's music going on. There's 900 people up there. Joshua Caballel. That looks like it's the next fight. What do you make of it?
Is it? Is it?
Looks like it. He's you know what it is, right?
Well,
if it's not White and Wilder's done, they have to take a top 15 opponent. It's not Joyce, it's not like we go through the list. Who does it leave in the top 15? Jarrell Miller and Ajit Caballel.
And this is so in defence of heavyweight boxing, is when they're looking at the rankings, if there's nobody else in the rankings or nobody available in the rankings, that's where it can fuck you up. But that leads to, again, where the division is shit. Apart from a couple of names, there's prospects coming through that aren't ready for that sort of jump. So you can't include them. But what I'm talking about is that championship level segment of the division. It's not very deep. So you're going to get these where it's shit. And so that's again why I'll say to you, go down the divisions, because those divisions are stacked and you can make so many different fights. And they're the ones that put the focus on, instead of doom and gloom about the sports on its horse and all that bollocks, promote that, talk about that, give a shit about that, and then people get excited about it. And then when the division comes back alive again, yeah, you can give it credit. Right now, it's not happening. So they're earning shitloads of money in that division, right? Shitloads of money. None of these are ever earn that kind of money that these guys are getting. And they're moaning over a few million here, a few million there. I get it if it's everybody else, but these are people that have got millions and millions and millions sat in a bank account or investments or whatever. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. It's like...
Let's take it to a lighter note then. Tony Bellew, and I know you don't know, but I know that's fine. If he comes back, will you be the man to train him?
Well, I don't know. It might
Would you
not
like to?
I don't know. It might not want to train with me.
Dave Coldwell, my man. Thank you, mate.